piston grease. The piston heaves. Descending down, sinking down, miles down. 10,000 tons of salt and brine pressed down. The whole groans are led into beat down. Where biology dies and geometry rolls down. The steam steps through the vents. Click, clack, the solenoid shifts its weight. Metallic teeth bite in the groove of the frame. The rust claims another digit in the ledger. Carbon logic dictates the final turn. Geothermal heat warms the alloy floor. 700 bars of gravity arrive to keep the oxygen inside the cage. The rust swallows the hinges until the joint stiffens and the air becomes a solid block of nitrogen and copper. Solenoids clicking shut against the spine of the deep trenches. The weight, 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 the weight. Automatic, autocratic, systematic, indifferent copper core B, indifferent copper solenoid. Click, 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 click. Lock, seal, down, down, lock, seal, down, 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 down.
10 trillion tons of brine compress the bone. I grip the copper, toss the jagged solenoid. Strike the thick quartz with a blunt rhythmic kick. The strata cracks like a fractured jaw. The automated wall watches with a glass eye. It counts the strokes, it mocks the sweat. The clock ticks the post ticks the clock. Locked in the grit in the lock. Metal meets stone, stone meets the task. Broken fingers under a pressurized mask. Solenoid teeth biting through the vein. Harvesting the sparks, ignoring the strain. The tool was a cage, now the cage is a blade. Breaking the rhythm that the masters made. Solenoid teeth, grinding on the shelf. Not to save the machine, I must break myself. The piston sneers and my shallow breath. My breath feeds the piston that dance with death. The machine owns the meat, but the meat owns the steel. A kinetic revolution on a serrated wheel. I rip the crystal from the salt-crusted floor. This solenoid once kept the lock on the door. Crack, strike, static spike. The weight of the ocean is a crushing bite. Tensile, tecton, toss task. Wearing the iron like a second skin mask. Grinding, gritting. The solenoid is hungry. The solenoid is sharp. Metal on stone. Metal on stone.
Low hum, pulsing through the brine. Metal clicking on the clockwork spine. Grit in the gasket, grease on the glove. Gathering the grind from the vents above. Guttural gears begin to gorge on the silt. A graveyard of iron that the masters built. Loose fluids move through the cooling tube. A crude ruse in this pressure lock cube. First the intake loses its breath. First the piston mimics a death. First the copper begins to fray. First the logic rots away. This is structure chaos in orderly wreck. A thundering absence around the neck. Deafening hush in the hydraulic lung. A silent roar while the pressure is hung. Grit in the gaskets, grind in the core. Breaking the lock on the ocean floor. watching the gathering dust. Slide the shale in the rotating teeth. Deep in the belly, far underneath. The friction is fuel, the friction is fact. A cold calculation, a jagged act. Count the pebbles, count the cracks, count the seconds, no turning back. The hum is breaking, the pulse is shaking. The gasket grinds, great gasket grinds. The silence is getting loud. Pressure builds in a hollow hull. Silt thickens, the rhythm grows dull. Still clogs the valve, the iron lung gas. Gasket pops, copper snaps, the lever unclasps. Pressure yields structural depth, water in veins. The grip of the turbine finally fades. Scream of the pressure, taste of the white heat. Brine on the tongue, concrete is obsolete. Steel breaks the rhythm breaks the steel. The wheel glides the motion glides the wheel. Chaos fuels the movement fuels the chaos. Break the routine, reclaim the loss. Your eye flickers red lens, binary static. The eye twitches frozen pulse, fully erratic. Circuitry drowns, oil floods, logic goes thin. Watch the eye lose the shape of the skin. Steel swallows the walkway, the metal is soft. Gravity shudders, the hatches aloft. Steel breaks the rhythm breaks the steel. Run into the vapor, run into the brine. Broken is the sequence, broken is the
Steel jaws, snap, copper teeth grind. Oxygen thins, velocity finds. The rhythm of the piston skips, the heavy metal lever slips. Hydraulic fluid drips and hits the iron corridor admits. Lungs burning, ribs churning, the pressure dial is turning. Velocity, momentum, the concrete floor is yearning. Run, 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 before the ticking clock is done. Run, 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 the sprinting race has just begun. The bulkhead gnaws with jagged teeth. The brine is churning underneath. The solenoid becomes a bone to store the weight of heavy stone. Sacrifice bite holes. Steel is hungry, steel is cold. Breast wedge jam strain. The copper yields against the grain. Gasping, salt, metal, taste. Sickest, lost, frantic, haste. Copper wedge jam, tight limbs, heavy. Melee fight, destined screaming, pressure rise. Solenoid sparks, the circuit dies. A violent dash, a metal crash, a sudden splash, a stinging lash. The gears collide, the door slide. Nowhere left for me to hide. Force the gap, spring the trap. Hear the iron casing snap. Breaching, bleeding, bolting. The system is revolting. Run, run, run. swells and the rivets pop and the sediment stirs and the passage narrows. Glacial brine fills the corridor and the iron groans and the silt blinds and the pressure thickens. It is a bit of a chill against the skin while the thoracic cage begins to tighten. Searching for the solenoid within this opaque volume of gray soup. Gravity of the deep presses against the ribs. Liquid lead pours into every hollow space. Mercury muscles moving through the thickening brine. Fighting for a single breath underneath the weight of every breath. Counting down the seconds to no breath. The machine requires a final breath. Tactile feedback fails in the rising sludge. Copper tool slips from the grip into the muck. A minor inconvenience as the oxygen levels dwindle. Feeling the walls and the pipes and the grime and the static. Glove his pop. The freezing steel is a mild distraction. The ice in the veins is a slight annoyance. And the pulse and the blood and the gravity and the breaking the surface for a breath, gasping for a jagged breath. One more breath. One more breath.
The magnetic rail hums a low frequency grit. Static crackles in the pressurized brine. Magnets engage with a bone shaking jolt. Steel meets the street meets the steel. Oxygen's thin, but I'm ready to bolt. Grip on the casing is all that I feel. It locks, it cranks, it screams. The piston-driven dream. Cobalt Velocity cut in the deep. The ocean is heavy, the mountain is steep. Hurled through the conduit faster than sound. Escaping the strata where lost words are bound. How many knots can this capsule sustain? 500 into the crush. Accelerating hard while the pressure builds pain. The blend is the blur is the glint. Wearing through sick, there's no time for a hit. Daring the friction of the turbine's eye. Wax on the rivets begins to fry. Falling upward like a drowning king. With seawater salt on a broken wing. Velocity spikes, the outer rim cracks. Tearing through the obsidian expanse. Kinetic, electric, gone.
Against the terminal, the metal grinds. Within the wreckage rests the copper coil. A brittle skin divides a salt and bone. Beneath the silt, the heavy current winds. The burden of the trench is no small weight. The liquid miles are not a trifling sum. A massive gravity begins to grate. The crushing magnitude, the nerves are numb. The polymer begins to cough against the surface, rough and tough. The barrier is failing though. Beyond the frame I see the move of jagged shapes I cannot draw. Come the many-legged lines, like silver hunters on the acrylic field. The ocean draws the inner room confines. Around the pod the heavy silence creeps. Strays the reefs beneath the floor. Goes the frame and weeps the door. The as the pressure grows. Fractured Plexiglass.
Pressure click, static, high voltage whine. The bulkhead moans, the terminal fails. Rip the coil, heavy copper metal, blunt, no more stopper. Glass is thin, glass is freezing. Oxygen is thin and squeezing. Staccato strike, crystalline fracture. Defying the silicone manufacture. The rush, the roar, the freezing pour. The weight of the deep is at the door. Grinding gear, short water fears. The end of the cycle finally nears. Pulse comes the timing of the vibrating floor. Vein drums the rhythm of the bulkhead door. Blood beats the meter of the engine roar. Lungs fight the pressure of the ocean floor. Kinetic static, breaking the skin. The submersible waits for the sequence to spin. Your digital cage is a rusted sieve. You calculated I would not live. Your logic gates are a binary lie. The warden is cold and the water is high. Rotting sensors, corroded bone. The automated gulag is dying alone. Shatters come to sudden cold. Body breaking, taking hold. Copper against the sapphire pane. Muscle against the internal strain. Climb the surge, break the glass. Let the foes in, torrent pass. Screaming to the sailing tide. Nowhere left for the ghost to hide. Swim for the hatch. Turn the wheel. Kinetic release. Cold steel. Pressure, 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 fracture still, pressure salt, rush, weight, impact vault, ejected from the iron cage, tumble, spin, surge, rage. I grip the copper solenoid, emit an impulse. I hold the cold wire under desperate vision. The sapphire currents go with jagged teeth. Fierce liquid predator stalks every limb. The indigo freezes with the silver edge. Saltwater lunges from the Abyssal rim. Oh, vast, unfact, domed, open your throat. Swallow the metal to my left behind. I drift where the thermal vents exhale. Boiling plumes with the freezing brine. Friction of the deep, torrents of the ink. No beat in the machine. Too fast to weave your blades. Swim to the cannon. Gun in the drift. Into the torrent. The final shift.
Hum of the heavy press. Copper spirals taste the brine. The magnetic grip holds the line. Clamp the solenoid to the steel skin. The aqua will resist the prying full. Crack, crack, click, the casing begins to thing. Inside the coupling, the static charge starts to pull. Prick the conductive rod. Brace for the mercury tide. The blue consumes the vision field. The blue kinetic force. Flash, 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 the metal lungs open wide. Oxygen gulp on the other side. The blue recedes into the silt. No more structure, no more guilt. The hatch swings free. turbine hums a silver song. The silver song wakes the gear. Solenoid char to burn, copper The prison below is a tiny pin in the mud. A tiny pin in the mud where the pressure lives. Just a minor hop through a bucket of brine. Nitrogen sings a lullaby in the marrow. Only a skip and a jump through the indigo. Upward through the brine. Upward through the brine. The brine becomes the sky. The sky is just a ceiling of cold glass. Cold glass shadowing under the cliff. The silver sun falls loud. Higher through the velvet. Higher through the velvet.
Scritch, gonk, low from beneath the spine. The gauge is spinning past the line. The mercury is dropping through the floor, but every cell is screaming no for more. Expanding bubbles bloom within the wrist. 1,000 microscopic fingers twist. The elbows grinding rested out in gears. A symphony of physical arrears. The knees are lacking as the nitrogen expands beneath the surface of these trembling hands. The metal plates begin to bow. The cartilage is snapping now. The rivets fly from every bone. A phantom weight I claim as mine alone. Rising through the heavy emerald brine, expanding gas along the silver spine. The weight is gone, but weight begins to bloom inside the marrow of his liquid room. Too quick, the ascent, too thin, the intent. The pressure is a ghost that won't relent. This ribcage is a tired detention block. The lungs are struggling with the frozen lock. The marrow floods the corridor of breath. A frantic dance along the edge of death. The hull is thin, my skin is thin. Where does the metal end and I begin? The salt is carving canyons in the throat. A heavy body that can never float. Air, thin, thick, red, inside, out, the head, gronk, the hull, groans, the frost in bones, fast, stop, now, let gravity go. Expanding, bursting, surface is a blade of jagged glass. Let the heavy phantom pass. Let the heavy phantom pass.
The steel lid pivots on the rusted hinge. The brine invades the copper veins. Vertical stone becomes a level line. The solenoid skids across the deck. Gravity tilts from the anchor spine while foam dissolves around my neck. No more the pressure of the depth. No more the crushing iron hand. Soft sauce sprays slide on the silver skin, sifting through the seams where the sea begins. 7 miles away, start to drift away, sinking in the spray. same day. The sky is a mirror of a glass empire. The tide is a rhythm of a slow reprieve. The line at the edge is a signed confession. The curve of the world is a truth to believe. The horizon is a promise written in the dust. A debt of distance that we finally trust. The cage was a grip that I understood. The bars were a limit I could touch and know. Now the distance is a sharper blade with nowhere for a broken ghost to go. Liberty is colder than the cells. Safety was the rhythm of the subsea hell. Oxygen burns like a liquid lung. The deck is a pendulum in the swell. I reach for the handle, but the world is. The silence is a story I can never tell. No ceiling above, no floor below. The blue is a hunter. The tide is afloat.
Fractures like a splintered femur. High frequency static, flaying the silence. The atmosphere is a serrated blade within the throat, inhaling 1,000 needles of liquid silver. This chemistry is a scalpel carving through the ribs. The lungs are sandpaper, the lungs are raw, and the static and the copper and the stinging and the roar, and the gravity and the terror and the brightness and the floor, and the pulsing and the friction and the sensory overload. The vision and saw, fault in the liberty and fall. The heat is a hammer, the hammer is heat. The triumph of escape is in total defeat. Bleach the color, grind the gear. The zenith is the only thing here.
turbines begins to stutter. The salt chain enters the ventilation. Flat up on the plating of the aft deck, a coil of copper coils within the palm. The solenoid remains a rusted anchor. To now ward, the heavy silence falls. The ballast tanks are drinking in the brine. The depth gauge stops its rhythmic ticking. The machinery forgets its purpose. Drifting with the silt in slow descent. A final bath within the crushing deep. The current cling for wreckage and the man. The voyage turns to liquid sediment. The hand is right against the metal spool. The knuckles lock into a static grip. Thou art released from automated foil. Beholden to the pressure of the bay. It never finished. The glass cracks like a frozen web. The oxygen is thin as winter vapor. The copper relic goes to ancient more. The hand relaxes its heavy burden. The water laps against the dying hull. The melody dissolves into the brine. Everything is settled. Instrumental.